The Accountant is a brand new Affleck thriller directed by Gavin O'Connor. The comic book universe in general, just to say this, is pretty well represented. We've got Batman, we've got Commissioner Gordon, we've got the Punisher, we've got Amanda Waller from Arrow, we've got the girl who wants to play Squirrel Girl. The Accountant tells the story about this young boy who grows up with these problems of having acute autism and the mental issues that he suffers from that. He grows up, he becomes this accountant, but he also is a money launderer and a financial bookkeeper for a lot of criminal organizations around the world. There's drug cartels, terrorists, shit like that. He gets recruited in to do this one job. He meets Anna Kendrick, who plays this character named Dana. She discovers that there's some financial stuff missing from the records of this robotics company she works for, so Ben Affleck is recruited to help figure out where the missing money went. When they both try to investigate this, they both are attacked. Someone tries to kill her, and now he has to figure out who's trying to kill her, who is trying to cover up the fact that all of this money is missing from this company. From the trailers, to the cast, to the talent involved with this thing, I was so pumped to see this movie, and I am even more pumped to talk about it. So let's go. Spoiler alert, this movie was awesome. Affleck, he impresses me in pretty much everything he's in nowadays. The dude isn't just a great writer. He's not just a great director. The dude has some serious acting chops. A really talented performer. He really takes his craft seriously. I love the way that they fleshed his character out and they showed you all the things that he had to deal with as a kid, these mental problems and family issues and stuff like that, and how someone who suffers from autism would grow up and what kind of person they would become. When he's older, he still has to deal with these problems. It's just he's older now, so he's in a better position to deal with them. He also received some specialized training from his father when he was a kid. Affleck really sells you. His performance in this movie is so restrained. It's so held back. So Affleck was great. All the other actors in the movie were really good. Anna Kendrick, he and her had some really good chemistry. She plays kind of this plucky underdog girl who gets caught up in this situation. I like the fact that the movie did not try to shoehorn them into a relationship or didn't try to drum up a romantic subplot just for the sake of Hollywood cliche. Affleck has all sorts of badass in this movie. He kicks a ton of ass. That extends to the action scenes in this movie. The action scenes in this movie are really well done. They're really well put together. There's not a whole lot of shaky cam. Everything is in frame. You can perfectly see what's going on, and there's not that quick cut Hollywood action bullshit. I love the way Gavin filmed the action in this movie, and there is enough good action in this movie to keep you interested. However, one other thing I love about the movie is that the movie does not let the action override the story or its characters. This is one of the most well-written action thrillers of the year. They try to iron out every little hole in this plot and in this story. Dialogue and the characters, the acting, that's really what you focus on, and the story of this guy who grew up with these problems and now has to overcome a really dangerous situation and use this special set of skills that he's acquired over a very long career. Yeah, taken. The action is kind of in the background, which is kind of weird to say about an action thriller. There's plenty of action, it's just, it doesn't overwhelm the point. It doesn't overwhelm the moment of the story and the characters and everything. With everything that I just explained to you, I mean, you have terrific performances, you have a really good story, it's a well-written script, I mean, good dialogue, you have great action. Doesn't that mean that this was one of the best movies of the year? Well, unfortunately, people, life is not a Burger King drive-thru, and we don't always get what we want. We can't always have it our way. Okay, there are two glaring issues in this movie that bothered me the more I thought about this movie. J.K. Simmons and Amanda Waller's character, they play these two characters who are kind of investigating Ben Affleck's character, Christian Wolf. They're trying to investigate him. They're trying to figure out who this guy is, this accountant with all these mysterious criminal organizations. They kind of feel really detached from the main story in this movie. In fact, I feel like you could take them out of the story and the movie wouldn't really be that much different. They don't really benefit the story at all. They're just kind of there for exposition and extra scenes. Don't get me wrong, their characters get fleshed out a little bit too, and I appreciated that, but their characters are kind of just window dressing. They're just kind of extra, like frosting on a birthday cake. For about 1:35, the pacing, everything was great for like 1:35 of this movie. Then this movie hits a wall, just stalls out, and there's like I can't spoil it, but there's like a 15-minute stretch where Ben Affleck is not on screen, and there's just a lot of exposition and flashbacks and stuff filling in the gaps and explaining stuff, and the movie just slows down. I couldn't help sitting there watching it going, man, can we get back to the really cool shit? I don't need this. I mean, you're not bored necessarily, it's just, you're kind of anxious because you want the main story to happen. I kind of wish they would have either kept this shorter or maybe had it happen earlier in the movie. The movie picks up right after that, but you can't watch the movie and not notice that the movie is going along and then boom, it just stopped. Thinking about this movie on the way home, I had like a King Kong sized fight going on inside me. I couldn't separate these issues that I had with the movie from how I felt as a fan about the movie. As a fan, this is still one of the best action thrillers of the year and I really loved it, but I can't push it there. I can't give it my highest rating. I will say that this still gets a very high Man of Steel approval rating. It's almost there, almost great. That is my review for The Accountant. Again, this movie comes out next week. I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy it. One of the best well-written action thrillers of the year. As usual, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.